I may not have noticed it, but as soon as I cleaned the dirt and the debris out of here, I think you had a leak for quite some time, and I do believe this radiator has a hole in it. And like I said, as I cleaned it with some Dawn dish soap and a squirt bottle, the more debris that I got off there, it seems like maybe the dirt was holding it together. But I do think that there is a leak in that radiator. I'm not sure. Probably right there when I pulled this pre-screen out. This pre-screen was pretty well, and I don't know if you probably can't see it, but there's still some goo on the bottom there. I think the dirt was actually sucking in there. I don't know if he caught something in the fan and pushed it into this, but it definitely seems like it, and I wish I could zoom out a little bit. Definitely seems like a leak or a weep, and of course you can't use the anyways, I think you need a radiator. I'm going to say you definitely need a radiator, and although it was slightly low when I picked it up, I replaced this guy here because I noticed that was leaking and weeping and spraying all over. Tried to clean up this area, but as I had it running here, I noticed some bouncing and reflectiveness, and I don't know if you probably can't see it either, and I really don't have a better way of shining that in there, but there is definitely antifreeze down inside that well there. So I have to let it cool off to open this up since it's hot, but I have a feeling that it is probably leaking, and you can't really, with this this cover off on this side, you can't really see a whole lot either as far as the radiator goes, but I'm going to say that that is definitely antifreeze. I'll dry it out, see if we can dry it out, or blow some air in there and see if maybe it's antifreeze. All right, well, I'll get in touch with you after I load this video up and send it to you. Well, as we look at this a little bit closer, I'm glad that I stopped the unit. Not really sure what the heck is going on here, but either the intercooler is leaking or something else. Initially, I was like, man, antifreeze, and the only reason I suspected that was because here I had it was leaking and weeping. But let's see, hopefully I don't pop my eyeball out. I didn't want that to leak down. The antifreeze, and they, they give you that great amount of room there. Antifreeze is at the right height, even though we need to replace that that cap is crappy. I started noticing more fluid pouring out on this side here, and it's not antifreeze. It's hydraulic fluid. So I shut the engine down. I had to figure out how to put this in neutral now, because it is definitely weeping and leaking. Hydraulic fluid, that is not antifreeze. I don't think it's antifreeze. I mean, it does look like it's not antifreeze, and I'll tell you why I say it's not antifreeze. I just checked the hydraulic fluid, and the hydraulic fluid is low, and this here smells like oil. Actually, it smells like fresh oil. That's the bad part. And I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know where it sprung that leak at. I just can't find it, and it's coming from right in here. So I'm guessing it's, and I mean, you can kind of see there's some, I guess if you move these, you can kind of see back in here, is that light on? Let's see if we can turn the camera on, turn the light on. See if we can focus in on that. You can kind of see all the goo and crap that's built up in there. But, and I know it's very hard to see. It is not antifreeze. So now I need to figure out how to get it in the garage. Thanks, camera, for not focusing right. And get that intercooler off without, I mean, you can, come on, this camera sucks. You can kind of see it's been gooping for a while. It just happened to be, I sprayed it with some Dawn dish soap and some water, and it opened up whatever clog was clogged in there. And now we got a mess on my hands, and I exposed whatever junk was plugged up. So that sucks. All right, well, I'll send this video to your wife so she can show you, and hopefully it can get an, I don't know if it's the intercooler, or hopefully it's the intercooler. Like I said, you can kind of see, I know you can't, guess you can't see, kind of see the debris line. It looks like somewhere maybe in there, but the front, it's very wet. There is maybe some damage over here, you can kind of see, but I don't think that's, I mean, I don't know. We have to pull it apart either way. I was really hoping to bring it back to you this week instead of bring bad news to you, but at least I guess I'm glad that it happened here and not while you're out mowing around with it. We'll get you a radiator cap, and then we'll figure out what the hell's going on with this. I don't think that's antifreeze, and the reason I say that is because I just came around back to check the hydraulic fluid because it was really pouring out of there. And we are low, so I'm gonna have to try to get it in the garage here without running it because it's leaking. And yep, that sucks. We did change the hydraulic filter too last season, so I know you can't see crap under here, but it is right there. So we did that last season, but blowing the debris out of this side seems to have exposed another ghost, either in the radiator or in that intercooler. But I'm gonna say, because it is just dropping oil out now, it's that intercooler. We'll also get you some new plugs, because these are all dry rotted, for your hydraulic system on this side. And yeah, hopefully you can figure out where the hell that oil's coming from. At first I thought it was a main seal, but all this stuff that I put in here for maintenance stuff is all OEM stuff from a kit from John Deere, specifically because it's just, I feel more comfortable when you're working on something like this to have that kind of a product, you know, at least the quality's there. So yep, so we've exposed something in there. My paranoia was that this was a antifreeze leak in wheat, but actually if you look down there, I don't know if you can see, there's like a small little protrusion. That is where there is a nice pinhole at. Now, you know, according to the gentleman, the owner, it was replaced once before, but when you start the engine up, you can see it's just pumping through there. So I'll call, there's a hydraulic hose shop down in Pottstown. I'll call tomorrow and see if I can figure out how to get some new hoses through there, and it'll be a real pain in the butt, I'm sure. Nothing short of a miracle for this. I've kind of been dreading this, but The only reason I've been dreading it is because it's so dang cold outside. I pulled the deck off this thing, and it's a big deck. So for me in my garage it is. And 48 inches in a tiny garage, it isn't very easy to get around it. Sorry, you can see some back fat. And that puppy dog's squirreling around. Try to get him used to noises, and he's all about skittish. He's a skittish pup. But the reason we got to pull the deck out is because hopefully we can get to the underside of this. And these decks aren't too much of a pain in the ass to get off, but the problem here is we have a hydraulic leak that I discovered. I use Dawn dish soap and water on one of these. Oops, it was already loaded. To get grease off of stuff sometimes. And kind of glad I did in this instance. As I pointed out in a prior video, there's a small leak, pinhole leak in the hose coming off the cooler. I don't know if that's a problem with these 485s or 450s or whatever the ones 500 series that use the intercooler, the oil cooler, but kind of glad that I caught it now while I have it in for annual service. I had finished doing the oil, and last year I said this too in another video. I did the hydraulic fluid change, hydraulic filter, and just kind of cleaning up here. There's people who don't know, maybe it might be hard to zoom in here, but there's a set of tabs, these quickly release tabs on your oil cooler on the inside here on both sides. There's 4 of them, and if you're careful you can actually pull your oil cooler forward. I don't know if you can, probably can't see that because the lighting is absolutely horrible. Let's see if we can get this to where we can. So to clean out behind your radiator, blow it out with air. You don't want to blow too much high pressure air in there either, because you can create some issues and blow debris in there or back in there that you don't want to blow out through. But since we had that hydraulic leak, part of my problem is going to be putting this deck down. So normally you would start the unit up and you can put the deck down all the way. Part of the problem with the hydraulic leak being there, I really don't feel comfortable running it very long. Because I don't want to cause further damage to this unit. So it would be nice to, you smell the dog poop? You smelled Jim's doggy's dog poop? And he didn't meet, I don't know if Jimmy's pup's alive still, but maybe Cash will get a chance to meet their puppers. She's also a GSP, and their GSP did kind of meet Remington, but unfortunately Remington passed away. So like I said, normally you would be able to drop this down and remove the deck, and maybe I will try to It's all right, buddy. That's scary, huh? Oh, scary. Yeah. Oh, easy there, pal. Easy. Easy. Watch out. Watch out. I'm getting old. Getting old. Sucks. But it's usually easier with a piece of wood under there. Watch your tootsies. Best idea, put these back together. Oh yeah. Hey. So, when you can, it's nice to put those hangers up because it doesn't make things so difficult to slide out. Like I said, it makes it a little bit easier to slide out. And once we get this out, you'll see how much oil is actually leaking out of this son of a bitch. It's just fortunate, I guess, that didn't happen in this field, but at the same time, I'm not happy that I discovered it because I don't like fixing stuff that takes a long time to fix, and this is going to take a little while. And this setup, it's not a shaft, it's like a spring, and these for your steering mechanism, because it should require the and this fucking thing, I should just wire it straight. God damn it. I really wish. Guess I could remove the whole thing, whether that's on a cotter gun or that's on a. It's not what I want to do. I really need to figure out a way to keep that up and pull at the same time. You don't need to see my ass. It's gonna slide out, so. Could have pursued that career as a lawyer. And you can see just from starting it up that little bit, it's spewing out. So let me prop this up somewhere, and he wants me to do that, and we'll try to get under there. Yeah, there's really a good reason to have a lift. Just makes things a little bit easier as well. So, let's see if we can zoom out and see what you can see. And see if we can point stuff out. So, based on what I was told, this line was replaced once before. And like I said, I did this last season as far as the fluids went. I didn't get the crease fitting yet, but right here is a line that's running up into the bottom of the unit. So I need to pull that off there. Supposedly it was replaced once before. And there's another one over here too, I think, on that side that runs up through there. I have to get some goggles on. This will be something we do tomorrow. And the high side of this is going to be a real biscuit too, because yeah, it is actually the high side that's leaking out of that, I guess. But they only have a single clamp on that, which really sucks. And as you can see, that's an awful mess. So we'll remove I'll remove the whole radiator shroud. God damn, sorry you had to go with me for that one. But I guess to make it easier to get in here, sucks that you have to and get both those lines out, because I have to get this line out and that line out, and the leak is on that side. So we'll remove the radiator housing here, shroud, and I don't know if I can find I don't think all my other tools are kind of out in the pickup truck right now, because it's snowing in Pennsylvania and people want their snowblowers running. I just feel like it'll probably be easier if I remove the radiator. I don't know. We'll figure something out though. There's a lot of junk they jam up underneath this. And, you know, right there's one of those pins I was talking about. You remove those or turn those to push that away so you can blow out the gunk. And bad design. I mean, crammed a lot of crap into a little area. I mean, I feel like Kawasaki's on a motorcycle are set up even better than this. So, but I guess they keep the radiator in the back. I don't know. Keep the radiator in the back, but you're sucking all the heat in. Because in the engine, yeah, I mean, hood traps heat, muffler. I mean, even though it is a rather large resonator, then you have your hot radiator back there. I just feel like they definitely could have thought about that a little bit better. Yeah, tomorrow's another day. When you're working on someone else's stuff that's already been worked on, it looks like there is a fastener missing there. I did pull this fastener here, but we're trying to loosen this up a little bit so we can go ahead and get some room in here to get the core or the cooler out. And it's documenting stuff that I see, you know, on the way. This side didn't have a plastic fastener or fastener on the outside. I'm also not sure what's missing here, because these two little, there must have been like a little cover that went over this at one point. But those those two plastic body tabs don't do anything other than fill two holes. Figure we'll address this real quick. So in order to remove your plastic dashboard from this level unit, and I guess I can get rid of that, you need to disconnect your instrument cluster cable. Highly recommend that when you put it back together, you put some dielectric grease in it. You might as well while you're in here. You need to unscrew your headlight, which is a lock washer and nut. Obviously you need to remove your steering wheel. I marked it. I don't think it really matters, but there are enough splines in here that you might as well mark it. The nut was a 15/16. I probably didn't need to remove both. There's two snap rings under there. I removed both of them. Oh, your headlight switch just pops off. Gently pry at it. Same thing with your throttle control lever. You will need to remove that. Gently pry at it so you don't bust it off or break it off. It's just, it's just plastic. Would have been nice if they used a screw like they did with the other sections of this. Need to remove your ignition key, which is also just a little plastic washer. If you kind of tab that in gently as well, you can remove that. You don't need to remove the sticks themselves. It's probably a pain in the butt anyway, since it goes down to the bottom. And then gently try to you need to remove your PTO plug as well. There's a fitting here. There was a fitting here. It wasn't in the unit when I started disassembling this menagerie. There are levers here that need to be removed. Your parking brake has a small Phillips head. Your cruise control has a small Phillips, or I don't remember what that one is, but small Phillips head there, excuse me. And then, like I said, remove your PTO plug. Again, clean it up. Dielectric grease. Have to run over to Wally World and grab some electrical cleaner, and then you should be able to gently remove this, so not to bust it up, and pull it to your over your sticks there. I'm going to pause here. Let's see if I can grab the tripod. So hopefully, whatever the case be, this helps somebody else who needs to replace the intercooler or your radiator. A lot of plastic here. Just try to be gentle coming up over your steering column there. And you should be able to slide this back over if I can, without breaking stuff. And that should be more than enough room for me to get in here and do what I got to do, which is remove this intercooler. This is probably considered the correct way for cleaning out your radiator. The back fins on that, because one of the things, in the manual it tells you to do is to there's little tabs like this. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I lower this. Little tabs like this on the back side of your hydraulic cooler, and that helps you to get to the back side of your radiator to clean that out. So while we're in here fiddling with us of this, we'll get that cleaned out as well. What a pain in the butt though to get to. I mean, you probably like last season. All I did was turn the tabs and then pull it forward. And you shouldn't use more than, like, I'd say like 10 psi or 20 psi to blow out the back of the radiator. Typically what I like to do is I like to use a Dawn dish soap solution, and I've probably said that a million times now, and spray the back of that, let it dry out, and then come back a little bit later and hit it with the air compressor. But you know, this area collects a lot of dust, and hopefully once I disconnect these fittings from the bottom, I should be able to pull that cooler right up out of here, and I'm going to try to do that without damaging the cooler. The cooler's not the problem. The hoses are the problem. So my intentions are to go get there's a local place down in Pottstown, PA here that does hydraulic hoses, and I don't know how pinholes develop in these. I know it happens in all sorts of equipment like backhoes, excavators, etc. What I do know is that, you know, it is a very big inconvenience for me specifically, because I do not have a I don't have a lift, and trying to get up underneath this is really a pain in the butt. Flopping around on my back, and this started out as just a bad habit, fixing people's stuff, and then turned into a horrible hobby, I guess. I don't know. I take on other people's broken shit, and I got my own broken shit to contest with, but I've done a pretty decent job at helping. Just for yeah, that thing. Let's see if I can bring that over. That thing's been blowing oil up in there for a little while, it looks like. So I kind of noticed this last season too, but I just didn't. I guess it didn't rear its head as bad. So this side of the radiator was dirtier than the other side, and the same thing with the screen that goes in here. There's a little screen roaming around here somewhere that I have sitting safely out of the way, I guess. And the screen had a lot of gook and debris in it. I just kind of, I guess I didn't suspect anything, but as I you know, gently touch that, because you can already see there's a little bend in there. The grass and debris that's in here is pretty well caked in here, so we'll try to free that up as well. And that probably came from the hose gently misting that area. Same thing down here with the radiator or the coolant and the antifreeze. Hopefully I sealed that one up without having to go ahead and dig further and replace that hose, because that'll be a whole pain in the butt. And as soon as you start pulling those things apart, everything else will start falling apart. Climate controlled environment. I'm going to say that these do well, and when they're pampered, like a Porsche maybe, you know, in a garage that has heat and air conditioning, and you take it out, you use it, and you put it away. I don't know. That's just my thought, 2 cents. So we'll continue forward. Yeah. So I was told that this hose may have been fixed before. I don't know if you can see it up there. Sorry, do apologize. Yeah. All right. Come on. There. So, try to clean it up. I feel like that side was supposed to have a fitting as well. I'm going to pull the whole hose through, I think, because it's tied there too. So I think I don't know. I have to look at the manual again. Maybe it is just right there. Yeah, we'll unscrew that and see if we can pop that through, but I thought for sure, yeah, no, there's, oh yeah, it is. So that comes off there, and then that hose back there, and that hose right there. They're not really hydraulic fittings. I don't know why. I guess they put it up top. I don't know why whoever put that together put it up top, because it would have been a lot easier if it was on the bottom to go ahead and unscrew that. But I guess because you need that fitting out to go ahead and fix the hose anyway. So we'll pull that apart. All I can say is that is not an easy place to try to get things off. So if you can, if you got a really long set of pliers, that works. Was able to get both spots off. Let's see. You can actually yank this out. We'll put this in the tripod. Really wish, like I said, I keep saying it, bigger garage lift, you have more problems. Should probably start charging $80 an hour or whatever it is that John Deere charges. Highly recommend that if you're working under there, put some safety glasses on. And it's that easy, and yes, I got oil all over everything now. And we'll bring this over here just to kind of show you. So the leak that was occurring there was right in this area. And again, I don't know how pinhole leaks start. But apparently this was done once before. We're going to take this down to, I'm going to clean it up first. So take it down to the local shop that does hydraulic hoses. I don't think you need any special hoses, honestly. If I clean this up here, let me pause this. Bring it back this way. So, I mean, this is where it goes through the frame. I mean, that's rubbing. I don't know if you can... Sorry. That's where it's going through the frame. I dropped the rag. Let me zoom out. It is all the way out. Let's see if I can focus that. But that is actually rubbing through in that spot there. This was the line that had the hole in it that I could see where it's spewing. It's actually like right in here somewhere. Again, kind of going through. You can see it's rubbing on the frame. So they do have like a plastic down, or some type of foam, but that doesn't seem to really do a good job. This says Boston. Can't tell if it says Weatherhead. I think it says Boston Weatherhead Easy something. That maybe was the piece that he replaced. I don't know, because the other side doesn't say Boston. The other side says, jeez. Come on. Well, let's try not to drop that. Yes, my garage is a mess. MSHA IC 466. So we'll take this down to this almost looks like just regular fuel hose for like a heavy tractor. I don't know. We'll talk to the professionals down there. It says 010902. Must be the date it was manufactured, and easy couple. something. It's not the same stuff, but we'll see if clean it up and take it down to Pottstown tomorrow or Tuesday and see if somebody can hook me up. I think opportunities in the garage when the camera comes out is time for handsome look, right? So we'll call this handsome look. Stinker. So we're gonna try to clean this out. You can see it's pretty well caked up in here. You gotta be careful because these fins are a little bit more susceptible to bending. So we'll take our time and gently wipe away that debris. Give it a good spray with the old Dawn dish soap, and a lot of cleaning here. This is probably going to be more cleaning than repair work. So see if I can actually record. So we're just doing the reverse of what we did for installing this, or uninstalling it and installing it. Went down to Clark Industrial. I've been there a few times before. They sold me some Continental non-conductive 300 PSI flame resistant. Let's see if we can. There you go. Use the pause button if you want to see what it is. Insta grip. So and try to fish it down in here without damaging the radiator. It's a tight space in here. Now, you don't need to remove any other bolts here, but I did. Did you like the boom boom? I don't even live in the city, and I get the boom booms out here. The hard part will be getting that one through. Hopefully this other one will be a little bit easier to stuff in there. The problem is I'm not as flexible as I used to be, so it's bottoming out somewhere down here. I try to do that without at least guide it, get it going. I wish I had a piece of carpet to lean on. All sorts of stuff rattling out from over there. Yeah, we're gonna have to get my safety glasses on and try to fish that down without wrecking it. The floor is a little wet, so I was kind of hoping that I'd get a day that wasn't so wet, but you know how that goes. And there's no room down here to fish any of this crap through. Hopefully I can fish it in the right direction. And we're gonna have to figure out how to keep it off the drive shaft. So we'll try to I feel like it should go up and over that, because the drive shaft, I know I'm talking to myself, but the drive shaft is in a particular spot. Well, we're going to pause that and take a break, because I'm going to really need to think about how to run this. We're going to need a headlamp, so hopefully I'll knock this thing over. I'm trying to get out because I'm fat, unexpected, out of shape. So, and I wish I had a lift. I can't really zoom out, but good gravy. be better with the GoPro. But the problem is, if you run that right next to the shaft where it was running, you got to be a little careful that you don't have extra slack in that and end up getting hung up in that. I mean, it is round, you know, and you would think that you would be all right, but it's, I don't think that there's not really any other direction you can go with that. The bad thing is it will bump into, initially when I came out of here, it was just straight. So why they didn't have quick disconnects on that or something, kind of stupid. And now you got to worry about whether or not you're gonna get twisted up and hung up in there. So that'll suck. I can try to see, it wouldn't even matter. See that this is a little bit more rigid. I mean, this is rigid too. The other one that was in here was just like, you know, rubber hose like fuel line. So we'll run it. We'll figure it out. We're trying to document this, I guess, to some extent. So hopefully I don't bust that. That's the hardest part. And I'm gonna fire up the air compressor and try to maybe hear a mouse back there. Hope not, but I can hear a mouse here. Fire up the air compressor then and blow some of that extra debris out. Like I said, you really don't want to apply more than like 10 psi on this. I did spray it down and let it dry with some Dawn dish soap, which is probably all over my back. And there was a snow blower in here I was blowing around with. But it is replaceable. And if you have a place in your neighborhood that can do the lines for you, you know, or if you can do them yourself. I don't have a tool for crimping lines like that, and honestly at first I didn't know if, you know, if I needed a particular line, but felt more confident taking it to Clark Industrial, and I forget what else I bought. I bought fittings there before in the past. So if you're in Pottstown, PA, and you looking for a hydraulic place, they're the guys. And yeah, we can see that this is the best design that John Deere has come up with. Let's just try to make sure it fit all together. Yep. So that's that. Put it back together, fill her up with some fluid, and hope that we. This was a pain in the ass. It really was. We're going to replace the bands. I call them alligator. They're hose clamps, whatever. I'll replace those as well. So I'm gonna climb under there. Gonna finish putting that. We slipped the. If I didn't say this last night, we slipped the dashboard on there. I probably didn't. I used a little guess it's, I think they call it QB electrical sprayer for the electrical contacts on both the PTO and the dashboard there. I was trying to see if I could loosen this up. Well, I guess you weren't even looking. because yikes, the steering wheel is supposed to be able to move forward and backwards when you have the D1010 for it, but that's a no-go. So let me get back to under this and we'll be back with you in a minute. Now we fix the leak that we had on these. There's a lot of time in this. I probably have like 4 hours into this thing now. At least it feels that way. Oh man, this was really a pain in the ass. I've been out here, I think, since 6 o'clock. It's now 8 o'clock. So the other night was 2 hours. It took 2 hours to pull the thing out. I feel like, and it's still about a half a quart short. I know you can't see crap. Maybe a quarter. Just needs a little bit. I can't run it this late, this loud, because I don't want to make my neighbors mad. So we'll finish fastening up the rest of the fasteners and hopefully get this back to Jim on Saturday. The crappy part is you know, it's the end of the season, so I mean, that wasn't easy to put in. They have it. They have the lines zip tied, and I don't know if that's factory or not, to the brake pedal. And there's a rod that goes through the whole frame, you know. Yeah. So, I mean. Some smoke, so I'm not sure what that's all about, but this thing, general maintenance, usually how it goes, came in as general maintenance. Still think that you could probably use a filler cap and some new plugs here, but I really can't hang on to this any longer. It's tearing into other customers. So this has been here for like 3 weeks now, and unfortunately I'm not a John Deere dealer. I can't imagine what it would have cost to take it to the John Deere dealership, but I mean, I wouldn't imagine it's anything less than you know, 800, 900 bucks. Trying to keep it under that for them, but that intercooler, they probably would have made them replace the whole intercooler. Then it probably would have been 3-4 hours worth of labor just for that. And then I don't know what they charge for general service. They always tell you they would have to have it, you know, at the shop to give you an idea of what the charge would be. So we're gonna go upstairs, take our melatonin, and go to bed. We're gonna put the deck on it tomorrow. I would have liked to have buttoned this all up tonight, but just not going to happen. Note to those in the future that are tackling this, make sure that you put your little placards in. Make sure that you have your light switch lined up where it needs to go. This just bends and pops out. It might break on you. it is pretty flexible, but if you've got an older unit, yeah, that's that. Have a good night. All right, fast forward, because I already put the deck on, tightened down the spindle. This unit does have some concern for me, so it scared the crap out of me, that's for sure. The unfortunate downside to this thing is that I'll try take two and hope that somebody doesn't text me while we're doing this. So I think we got the leaks squared away. The unfortunate downside to this unit is that I believe this dashboard, the interface has a short. So yesterday when I put it back together, it wouldn't start, which was rather alarming. So the first thing I do is I start looking for switches underneath the body, thinking that it was something to do with a safety switch. In actuality, it's this PTO, or at least in this case it was this PTO, and I think this PTO is actually starting to fail. And the reason I say that is if you have it on or something else in this dashboard, when I was engaging the deck while it was running, the temperature gauge for the oil was bouncing all over the place. It was down in here. I turned the lights on or off, and the lights on the dashboard would come back in, would come back on, or go back off. So it was just kind of bizarre. See if I can recreate it here. Let me pause it and go find my headphones. I guess I'm not going to find my headphones, but we'll show you anyway. Tap there and it's easy. The headlights work, but the dash, the instrument gauge here definitely has some. Not sure if you could even hear what I was saying, but pull this back in here. The instrument gauge definitely has some type of gremlin, electrical gremlin occurring in there. So I kind of noticed that when I came in, and the reason I say that is what I had noticed before I discovered the pinhole leak was that the hour meter while it was running was blank. I guess I just never really paid attention to it, maybe, I don't know, but oil's good. I mean, the oil's in the right place, the cooling system's working, antifreeze is staying in the unit. I do smell a little bit of a sweet smell of maple syrup, or whatever you want to call that smell of antifreeze. But and I think we're good for the hydraulic leak. So my plan is to take this back to Jim tomorrow and hope for the best and expect the worst, I guess. I don't know. Not 100% sold on this particular unit, and like I said, the way I met Jim was the battery on this thing was dead. And anybody that's familiar with these nice plastic hoods, I can hear stuff rolling around in there now. This whole setup is absolutely bonkers for getting that hood out of there. I broke that though for Jim, and out of my own pocket replaced it because that's the right thing to do. And for that little piece of plastic, I think it was 50 bucks, and 2 extra trips, or an extra trip out to Jim's, which was unfortunate, but Jim has been very nice to me, and continued to support me, I guess, in fixing other people's broken stuff, as I like to say, fixing other people's broken shit. But these plastic hoods are garbage. You know, John Deere used to make metal hoods, but in the name of everything cheapness, about every company that's out there, it doesn't matter who it is, John Deere, Kubota, you know, either the 2 Ford, I guess, still probably makes some tractors. New Holland, I guess it is the other one. You know, like this mid-size mower. And they do things to go ahead and maximize profits for the CEOs, and screw the end consumer or end user, which is very unfortunate. So, have a great night.